How's it? All right, guys, this is just a quick video to show you the full build out that I did on my 2020 Suzuki DR650. Quick backstory, if you watch any of my videos, you know I'm kind of new to this adventure riding category. And so last year when I was going through the whole process of choosing which bike and whatever, I ended up choosing a DR650. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that the bike's kind of a clean slate. It's very simple. It's been around forever. I think this bike's been pretty much unchanged since '96. So it's super reliable. There's tons of parts out there for it. There's a huge aftermarket for it. And a lot of the stuff you can do yourself without even being a mechanic and having that type of expertise. So what I did was I picked it up used from a cool guy called Don with a little under 1,000 miles on it. And the only thing he had changed out was the handguards and this Procycle seat. Everything else I've done mostly myself, and then the last 2 weeks I actually sent my bike up to my good friend and mechanic. His name is Tony, and he knocked out all the difficult stuff I'm not qualified to do. And so when I got the bike, I left most of it in stock form as far as suspension and carburetor and all that kind of thing, because I really wanted to get to know the bike. And I knew that once I knew it in stock form, the adjustments and the upgrades that I would make, I would appreciate them a lot more. So the bike is now pretty much 98%. There's maybe a couple of things left I can do on it, but pretty much 98% of the bike is complete. It's a full build out into an adventure worthy 50/50 dual sport. So what we'll do is I'll jump off the bike, I'll grab the camera and just walk you around, and I'll show you everything that I installed and had done to the bike. I'll also list in my description a list of all the parts and stuff like that. So for anybody out there that's thinking about jumping into adventure riding, you're not sure what kind of bike you're getting, you're a little bit old school and you want a little bit more of that, a bike that you can tweak and customize to your own likings, hopefully this gives you a couple of ideas. But yeah, so far I'm loving the bike. It's been amazing. And so let's check out everything that I did to it. Cheers. Okay, one of the first things that I did was I changed out the stock tank for that Acerbis 5.3 gallon tank. Great thing about it is it now gives me over a 200-mile range on the bike. The next thing that I installed was this Lexx MXE slip-on exhaust. Really inexpensive, and it's been great. I like the sound of it. It's got a spark arrestor, so for your national parks and your forest, you're fine. So it's been working great. Next thing I installed were these Dirtracks crash bars up front and the Dirtracks rear crash bars. The next thing was just these simple Acerbis frame guards and these glue-on case savers. My mechanic Tony customized the rear brake pedal for me. It looks exactly like the shift pedal as well. So that's my brake pedal. I installed a Tusk rear tail rack and the small waterproof hard case. Like I said, Don installed the Procycle seat. It's wider, it's more comfortable. It's not as comfortable as I'd like. I still use a pad on top, but it obviously is a lot better than the stock one. The stock one feels like a 2x4. I chose the Parabellum smoke rally windscreen. I like it a lot. Helped a huge amount as far as buffeting on freeway commuting up to the mountains. The other thing I changed was the front fender. That thing was, the stock one is literally like a boat sail. So this one is way firmer and cuts through the wind a lot better, so you're much less buffeting on the freeway. I went with Shinko 705s. They're more street orientated. Just the type of riding I've been doing so far, you know, it's a pretty long commute up to the mountains for me. And plus, I've really been enjoying doing a 50-50 type riding where I'm, mostly Forest Service, light single track, and then 50-50 on the street as well. So, the mountain passes up there are fantastic, between the asphalt and the Forest Service roads and the single track. So far, like I said, I don't have too much of an opinion yet because, like I said, they just got installed. So I'll give you a better update as I get some more mileage in them. I also changed out my inner tubes to heavy duty tubes. Went with a Tusk shift lever, and like I said, my mechanic Tony fabricated me a brake pedal that matches up perfectly to that one as well. Went with the J&S case saver, and then the other case saver is an adhesive case saver. So case saver's on that side. This is your chain guard and case saver. Still running the stock bars, but do have warp 9 risers and warp 9 brake and clutch levers. I went with a center mounted Garmin setup on my cowling over there. Tony has power running through it, and then I also have a USB port for phones and things like that. Now for the technical stuff, went with steel braided lines. Tony installed those, I'm not qualified for that. Steel braided lines, and went with a more dual purpose orientated brake pad on front and rear. Same thing on the rear end, running steel braided brake lines on the rear, and like I said, more dual sported orientated brake pads for those brakes. Suspension wise, for rear suspension, just changed out spring, much stiffer rear spring on the end there. And in the forks, went with RaceTech. Now, the suspension setup that I had done, I weigh about 190 pounds, and I know I'm carrying at least 60 to 70 pounds of camping gear and that kind of thing. So Tony has this bike set up for me with a suspension setting for around 270 pounds. So between me and the gear, it's made a huge difference. So that's why I went with that setup. Carburetor wise, Tony rebuilt the carb, installed a Dynojet jet kit with an adjustable fuel screw. So depending on the temperature and the altitude that I'm in and that kind of thing, so I can adjust it on the run, but that's what we did with the carb. That's how we built it out. Airbox wise, pretty much stock. Took out the snorkel, but didn't really do the cutout of the airbox that a lot of people do. I'm just running in a K&N reusable air filter in there. So like I said, that's pretty much the bike built out. 98%, 99% it's done. The last 3 items pretty much is changing out these stock bars with either fat bars, or if I just go with rental 7/8 or something. I'm not sure. I'll decide when the time comes. I'm one of those people that while things are working, I'll keep them, and then until they break, I'll change them out. So stock bars, stock mirrors, same thing. They've been working fine. When time comes, I'll change them out. And the other thing I'm obviously thinking about doing is changing out these pegs into wider, more comfortable pegs. But that's about it, everybody. That's the build out that I did on my 2020 DR650. Cheers, on to the next adventure. Looking forward to a nice big ride coming soon.